day. Yeah, I do. Let me back up from the screen coming. I don't want to frighten nobody. My child, I'm live. I don't want to tell off nobody early in the morning. You see how my face look? Oh, you know what? Fix something for you. Enough for me? You want a toilet? No. Are you watching TV? No, baby. I just wanted to make my face look a little smoother. Because sometimes when you're natural, there's things that you could do so your face doesn't add a little um yeah, I use foundation when I'm going live and stuff, just a little. But mine is very light. Very light. I don't like to look like, you know, as a rasta. But yeah, times have changed, so we do try to we do try just, a little to soften up little areas so you don't look like a complete mad woman. Okay, so I'm just removing some of the oil from my face. Yes, I ease before I start. There's nothing wrong with that. Mm. Zion, Zion, Zion. Okay, so we don't look like my little one. Okay, I think I can work with that now. I don't look so harsh in the face. So, good afternoon. Welcome to I'm a Rasta for Life, the National Board of Comments. And I wanted to talk about literacy. Yeah, I wanted to talk about literacy and what that means. Now, to be literate is when you recognize words and you comprehend words. That's when you're literate, meaning that you can read and write and comprehend. That means you're literate. Good. How do you attain? How do you attain literacy? How does one attain literacy? As I smoke my big head spliff. Because you same people out there, of course, I'm actually speaking about the Jamaican community again, because we're Jamaicans and we have to empower our Jamaican people. Because when you hear about illiterate and literate, you have to be able to decipher the two. So when you're illiterate, that means you can't spell, you can't read, you have, less than basic education. Good? Okay. Now, when you're literate, that's because you've had education. You can read and you can write and you can spell. Now, when you go on to higher education, that helps you to incorporate everything with the elementary, and then you learn root words and so forth and so forth and so forth, nouns and verbs and blah, 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 right? Okay. Then you learn how to construct a sentence, and you learn how to construct a paragraph, and then you learn how to write a story. Now, when you take English literacy, your English courses, you learn how to read a story and the message that you're getting out of the story. You learn how to decipher that story which you're reading as a literate person, as a person who can read and write. Good? You're literate. Now, after high school, if you choose, to go on to college and higher education, that's up to you. That's up to you. Now, let's go to street smarts, where you don't need any education. You're street smart. Now, when you're street smart, what are you? Of course, you can leave a comment anytime. I won't bite. Please leave your comments. If you agree, if you disagree, what have you, it's okay with me. This is an open forum. Okay, and of course, I'm creating content. Okay, now you have your street smart people who might not be literate, but they have a lot of street smarts, which means they know how to navigate, they know how to manipulate, and they know how to utilize the links that are given to them in order to move on with whatever situation that they need, right, to survive in the streets. Now, you hear a lot of people say, oh, you don't need an education for this, that, and the other. Oh, you don't need this to do this and that and the other because I got street smarts. Okay, fine, you got street smarts, but how far is that going to take you in the world? In a productive world, how far is that going to take you? And what I noticed with my Jamaican people, them, again, is gonna love to jump on the bandwagon of illiteracy. So again, my Jamaican people, of course, I was born in London, England. My parents are Jamaican. My Jamaican people, again, promote illiteracy and they promote street smartness. How can you have a population of people agreeing that if you're illiterate and you don't have no intelligence, according to the Jamaican mentality, that's okay, because you have street smarts. So you don't need no education for this, that, and the other. This is what a lot of us, our Jamaican people, are saying. Now, I was born in London, England. Big woman things. I came to America with my parents. They migrated here and so forth, whatever you want to call it. And we lived in America. I did 1 year of private school. I did 4 years of high school. I did 4 years of college and graduated. And then I went to nursing school. Now, I believe in education. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I believe in literacy. I don't believe in illiteracy and saying that street smarts is what takes you through to the world. It does. It does. Please don't get me wrong, because I got a lot of street smarts. A lot. But I'm also educated. Very educated. Now, what happens when you're educated and you're having a conversation with somebody who's less educated than you are? And within that conversation, when you're speaking to this person, you can see that they got a lot of street smart. They can tell you the hustle. But when you're speaking to them now on an intelligent level, where you're trying to empower them, they don't want to hear it. No, they don't want to hear it. Because what they're doing thus far has carried them thus far without any education. So with that alone, you can see where the communication ends. Because educated someone is trying to communicate with a non-educated person, and that person says, no, I'm good. I don't want to, no, I'm okay the way I am. So on that level, you cannot reach that person on your level of education. You have to come down to their level in order for them to comprehend you. Now, are you willing to come down to that person's level of education in order to communicate with them? Well, that's where your street smarts as an intelligent person comes in, because you should be able to. You should be able to, because you're smart, you're intelligent. You have the advantage. I am street smart and I'm able to communicate with ones on any level. The ones that I, notice who have a lot to say, especially on social media, are the ones who cannot construct a correct paragraph or sentence. And you get to see that with the commentary. You get to see that some people write how they speak. That's lack of education. Because I speak correctly, I can write how I speak because I speak correct grammar. Don't get me wrong, because me can't get down and dirty like the rest of, oh no. Yeah? Don't get me wrong. I can get gully like the whole of upon social media. Me can get just like this and start go, 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 ga, and carry on. But then I would not be being myself. I will be pretending that I'm a Jamaican, and I'm not. Even though I can speak Jamaican dialogue and so forth, because my parents, my heritage, my culture is Jamaican. But I was born and raised in England. And so I speak this way as much as me can talk the other way as well. And me can chat the chattings too. And me can guani as well. I can change up my dialect. I can go to English to Jamaican. But on the intelligent level, when I am trying to communicate, you're going to get this. This is how I speak. This is not me pretending to talk. This is me speaking with an intelligent tone because I'm educated. Now, when I'm dealing with, some of the people on social media who are often less educated intelligence, I know. And that's why sometimes I react the way I react, because who is you who is not on my intelligence level to come with your nonsense with me on I'm a Rasta for Life, the National Board of Comments? Who is you? Please remember to leave your comments down below. But I'm just trying to express that you have, both sides of the fence. Me, I'd rather be on the intelligent level rather than the illiterate level. Now, don't get me wrong. You heard of the expression, educated fool. Got a lot of educated people who ain't got no sense. I work with them every day. I work with some educated people, and I'm like, and you got what degree? Because some of them act like they're not in a sense. It's true. That is the truth. So I see where the educated fool statement comes from. But that's basically, in my opinion, is you're educated in one arena. You're educated in one area. But then everything else, you're just boof, baff, biff. But what you're educated in, you're great. But then with that education, you also have to have communication skills, because you have people can't chat the patois and carry on, and everybody love that. They're like, hey, yes, like this, you want your hype it festive. This is it again. Festivity. You're having a communication, a forum, and if it's not festive, people are locking off. And what is festive? Yeah, chat about somebody, yeah, chat about somebody's situation, yeah, talk the things them, and only just boop, 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 boop. That's what you all love. But when it comes to intelligence, having an intelligent conversation, oh, she too boring, man. I listen to she. Right? And yet, you hear the same people saying that other people should create other content that people want to see. But when you do create that content, they don't want to see it because it's not heightening their excitement, level on the intelligent level. So on I'm a Rasta for Life, the National Board of Comments, you will see ones subscribe and unsubscribe and subscribe and unsubscribe, because when they get to see what I post and some of the things that I say, they're like, oh yeah. They're in for a big surprise because I can come anyway, intelligently. So if I'm communicating with you, I do this because I know it agitates ones, but me not living for people. Good? Please remember, me not live for nobody. Me I live for God. So, So this is it right here. Okay. When I communicate, or when I present something, I always try to be intelligent. It's not that I'm trying to put on a show. I'm not. I'm presenting who I am as a human being on an intelligent level, because I don't want nobody come over here with their foolishness, because when I have to put you in your place, you will just unsubscribe and say whatever. But I don't business, because I'm creating my own content. Again, I can use tidbits of this, that, and the other and elaborate. And I can also do this too, without using anything. Nothing at all. All I have to do is just use my mouth. And you know me. Because I'm not there here as a pretender. I'm here as I'm a Rasta for Life, the National Board of Comments. So of course, when you hear of I'm a Rasta for Life, of course you know what that means. And then when you see the National Board of Comments, you're like, yeah, I know. But that's intelligence. That's called, being intelligent. And you're trying to figure out what is the National Board of Comments. Well, I've established on YouTube the National Board of Comments. And that's all. That's my brainchild. So that's a part of my creativity. I don't have to call my channel Mix Up This and This, that, and all of this tomfoolery. No, we're not dealing with all of this tomfoolery. I don't want my channel to be basically about mix up and he say, she say, and drama. Because everybody's doing it on YouTube. Everybody's taking the same content and reproducing it, right? I do it myself, don't get me wrong. But what I want to do is more present topics and comments, right? And comments. And that way, if there's a comment that I might want to elaborate on, then it's not coming from me. The comment is not coming from me. But if I want to elaborate on that comment, it comes over here on the National Board of Comments on I'm a Rasta for Life, because we deal with words. Good? And the tongue is a powerful weapon. Oh, yes, it is. And when you say something or you comment something, you can't take it back. And legally, on the National Board of Comments, this is what we're here to show you. That when you comment something, it cannot be taken back. It can be deleted if you realize that you don't want it to be there, so you quickly delete the comment. But comments are responses from others. And if you comment and your name is there and everything, that is for everyone to see. And if you don't like it, that your comment is now being reproduced somewhere else, there's nothing you can do about it. absolutely nothing on social media. There's nothing you can do, nothing, because you made this comment. This is the comment that you made, okay, based on a certain topic. Another blogger, okay, sees that comment and says, wonder what they mean by that. And then they take your comment and they do whatever. There's no one to complain to. You made the comment. So on the National Board of Comments, that's what we do. Now, I wish that I had saved one comment, because now I'm looking for it and I can't find it because they, deleted stuff, right? And the reason they deleted it is because they are aware of what they said and they don't want that reproduced again. But then, your archives can be easily pulled up and you can find that comment. But I just wish I had did it when I said I was going to do it. But then when you feel that the person is telling the truth because of their conviction, you say you don't need it because they keep saying it over and over again. And then the same thing that that person is saying, they go back on it and do the opposite. And that's why I'm so like, so that's the importance, because when you have the proof via a comment, verbal or written, there's no argument. None. Because this is, I didn't say it. I didn't make this comment. You did on a social media platform. So why are you upset because you see it somewhere else? Why? So that's the intelligent part of creating something, of being creative. And us black women, us Jamaican black women, we don't like to see each other being creative. And we don't like to see each other when we're on social media and we look gorgeous. We just don't like it, right? I noticed that with us black women. And even if you come on social media looking like a rag doll, it still make Uno upset. If you get dolled up and dressed up and all beautiful and glamorous, it still make Uno upset because there's a reason why you're doing it. She look something, she this, that. Black women are too miserable and unhappy with themselves. You are. You're very unhappy, you black women. You big grown, tough, greyback woman, as the people then call on you. I get to learn these expressions from other black women who I watch. Your big black, no, your big, your big greyback, all time big woman. Things like, so it's a crime to be aging. Not that. I heard somebody say that. And I'm like, wow, this is what we're doing to each other now as black women. This is what we're doing to each other. If you don't look like the hashtag Dolly Body, then you need to go sit down one side. This is what's going on. That's the new normal in 2022. Right? That's the new normal in 2022. Hashtag Dolly Body. And God help you if you don't look so. So this is where all of the problems are coming from, because we don't want to be ourselves. We don't want to embrace who we are. We want to be something else. And now it's coming to the time where being ourselves is more important than trying to be something else. Because that takes work and energy. So, as a big great one woman, I'm proud of myself. I love who I am as a natural black woman because I know I'm beautiful. That's why I can do this. I'm not afraid. I'm not uno. No, I'm not. Because you know why? Some of uno teeth no white and pretty. Some of y'all can't come on here without makeup and just be natural. Some of y'all is not doing this, coming out with no white hair. What? Are you mad? No, 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 no. Y'all are not doing that. As uno see a little white hair, uno start with the dyings. As uno see the white hair, uno pull fit uno wig, bloop, and put on uno helmet. Because nobody not seeing uno with white hair. And you like what? 50 plus. Right? You're not going to let nobody see you the way you are naturally because you don't feel confident in yourself as a black woman to present yourself naturally. It will drive you mad for no say. You have to come out natural as you are, and you can't do it. So when you see people like me doing it, it hurt uno art. You Jamaican women, oh yeah, it hurts your heart. You try to find all kind of things to find wrong. Go ahead, find something wrong. Go ahead. I want you to. Go ahead. Go ahead, find something wrong. Go ahead. Go on. Go ahead. Go ahead, find something wrong. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, the belly. Go ahead, find something wrong. That's another thing. You have your natural belly, right? Natural belly. Natural. Natural. And the first thing people want you to do is what? See your belly, I get kind of big, You don't need to exercise. Okay, that's good. I could do a couple of sit-ups and get it, get a six-pack. Right? Get a six-pack. But that takes energy too, right? And work. Now, do I want to be doing crunches? I could do it. I could do a routine of crunches, and within a couple of months, I got a six-pack. That's the design, right? Easy. 1, 2, 3, naturally done. I'm just pulling up my panty because it... if you don't pull your panties up properly, everything looks weird. Okay. Okay. Okay, good, yeah. See, right here, right? Love handles, right? I gotta get rid of these right here. So if I was to get rid of this and exercise, then it would look like this, right? And then lose the belly. Right? Lose the belly, right? Good? Good? And then I would look more, I would look more like this, right? If I exercise and do the crunches and... Okay, then. Now, without doing all of that, I'm still happy with how I look. I'm perfectly happy. Because when I put my clothes on, I have my natural breasts. And as I get older, they get bigger. It's true. Everything gets bigger. It's just I'm like, what the? And when I was younger, I had none. But now that I'm older, right? You know, you can see a little cleavage, you know. And they're up there, you know, because I have on a strapless bra and my breasts are not hanging down all the way to my knees. Right? My breasts is not hanging down to my knees. When I don't have on a bra, this is how it looks, just like that. Good? Okay. So with, you know, the design that God made me, his design for me, right? I love it. Absolutely love it. Now, as you get older, you know, with gravity, everything drops, and that's why you have to exercise. So us as black women, we need to quit the nonsense. And we need to embrace ourselves more and stop hating yourselves less. I don't know what the situation is. Because if I'm happy that I'm actually black, you know, from the black culture, I wouldn't want to be anything else. But intellectually speaking, when you communicate with others and you realize that the person who you're communicating with is on a different educational level and you're trying to have a conversation with that person, you want that higher level of education, you just need now to be a listener. Yeah, you just need to listen to that person who's on a lower level of education. You have to listen to them, which is very important in communicating with them. Because even though you're communicating with a person who's of a lesser educational level than you are, you can still learn from that same individual. They can teach you something. Yes, they can. Because they can teach you their life experiences on their level of communication. And you listen to them. You're like, wow, I hear you. You know, you're listening to them. You're like, wow, go ahead, I'm listening, go ahead. And they're talking and they're talking and they're talking. And you're listening to them. You're not saying anything, you're just listening. You'll be like, wow, that's deep, you know. And that's how you deal with that, you know, person, rather than being rude and, you know. So sometimes, even on social media, when you see a lot of, I wouldn't say illiterate, but I would say lower level educated type people, and you see the way that they comment, and you see the way that they communicate, and you see the way that they spell, and you see that most of the times they have a limited vocabulary. And when you hear that, when you say a limited vocabulary, meaning it's easier to have an argument and then begin blurting out expletives curse words. Because your vocabulary is limited. When you're on a different level, you try to have a reasoning. But because you're dealing with another individual who's not even on that reasoning ability, the whole thing just becomes like, you just need to just walk away, because you're not going to get anywhere. It's going to be pointless. Because all the person wants to do is, to tell you where to go up under, and where, who to do what to, and this is all that comes out of their mouth. You cannot get a reasonable conversation more than go da da da, go do, move away from here, go there, move your da, and that's all you're hearing. How are you going to have a conversation with somebody who's only saying this? Another one. Sometimes it gets into religion because their vocabulary is limited. So the only thing left to say is the usual religious undertones that you hear people comment all the time. That's another example of having a limited vocabulary. So where is it that being illiterate is good? Oh, yeah, I can say good, yeah. Who says that you don't need to be able to have a little common sense as well? Who says it's okay who says that it's okay for you not to want to go to higher education? You know who says this? The ones who are illiterate, and the ones who are of the same class. Because you'll be surprised that you got intelligent people, but they also remain educationally on a different class level. Because for some reason, they want to be accepted by that class of people. And remember, Jamaica is a class prejudice country. Oh, you know that. You know that's true. It's a class prejudice country. So, educationally, if you're promoting illiteracy, then what are you telling the children of Jamaica? That it's okay not to go to school and get an education? A proper education? This is what you guys are doing on the internet and social media? So you're promoting that it's okay just to be street smart. But you're not promoting that you should also be able to read and write along with being street smart. It's a very sad situation. And then you wonder why now the youth, not to be funny, the youth who are growing up are just street smart. Because if they get to hear the same Jamaican people telling them on social media that you don't need an education, then something is really lacking in our beautiful Jamaica. That now I get to hear and see ones promoting you don't need no education. And then you wonder why Jamaica is running rampant? I don't get it. weirdest thing. So, on social media, when you see thousands of people liking a comment that promotes illiteracy and non-education, then you know that our society of people have really gone mad. Because you're not thinking of the children, you're thinking of hype on social media. That's the message. Hypeness and bandwagoning. Right? A classic example of bandwagonist. When somebody say, hey, no, hey, who don't think about what the person is saying, who don't listen to say, well, what is this person? What is the message that this person is sending? Oh, so the message that this person is sending is that you don't need an education to survive in life. Oh, very good. Let's give her a round of applause. Let's give him a round of applause. Have you gone mad? And thousands of people like a comment like that? So this is why we're in this state that we are in our wonderful Jamaica, because you have too much people alike of not having an education. Where do they do this at? And then the school children in Jamaica hear all this nonsense and say, well, we don't have to have an education. We can be street smart. Well, the message that I'm giving is not that. Children, you need an education. All over the world, all children need an education. All children need elementary education. All children need a high school education, and preferably also a college education. That's my message. I'm not going to promote illiteracy and ignorancy. Are you mad? Just to get an applause? Yeah! Bunch of two-faced hypocrites. And this is the problem with us black Jamaican woman. Una is the worst bandwagonist. So this is the point that I'm trying to show. Because of that lack of education, yeah, this is what it shows. That you will like a comment on the National Board of Comments, I'm a Rasta for Life, that you will like a comment that promotes not getting an education. This is what you're telling your children in Jamaica? Or you don't need an education? Just go up on the street and go learn things. This is what you did. This is what's going on. Where you promote illiteracy. And me for telling up on I'm a Rasta for Life National Board of Comments. We're not doing that around here. School children, go to school and get an education. School children learn to read and write. So that nobody can take it as no fool. So when you give somebody $20, $200, wherever, you can count back the change and say, wait, nickel, this ain't right. Recheck that, please. And you're 10. So you could be street smart and know that, yes. But also education can help you know that too. But I would prefer a child learns it the educational way in school, other than having to learn it on the streets. Because how are they learning it? What are they doing to learn? 10 plus 10 is 20. And then you wonder why Jamaica is in the state that it's in now, because you guys promote that you don't need that education. Education ain't helping nobody. Don't get me wrong, yes, you got some people with education and you know, they can't get no work and so forth and so. I understand. In America, it happens too.
I can't find my debit card.
Well, you gotta think where you put it. Look in your jacket, look in some of the clothes you had on, look in the couch, see if it fell in the crack.
Where is the bags where I went to the supermarket and the corner store?
I would have seen it if it was in there. I would have seen it. Hold on, let me see if it's... because I use my hold on guys, I use my look in the couch and see if it fell in between the corners there. Look in one of your old outfits, but I haven't seen no card for you. This is mine. Hold on, I'm coming. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I haven't seen any. If I did, I would give it to you, but no. It has to be in one of your clothes, the bag. It has to be somewhere. Look in the couch and see if it fell down in there and stuff. Yeah. So, I'm sorry. Yeah. So basically, it's better for you to have an education as opposed to not having one. And you know, black women, you're mothers. And when you're on social media, hyping up yourself and being bandwagonists, remember you have children. So if you're gonna applaud that it's okay for you not to have an education, do you know that you have children? So it's okay for your child not to have an education? So after elementary school, primary school and all these things, doesn't matter, they can just do whatever? Oh, okay. Well, if thousands of social media commentators are responding in agreement with illiteracy, something is so wrong. And the thing is, right, they don't acknowledge. Did you find it?
No.
They don't acknowledge what they're doing as, being wrong. Did you look in your stroller and see if it fell down between somewhere yet? Let me see, because I don't have any bags here that belong to you. And wait, my daughter can't find her card. Hold this for me. Hold on.
Think you're doing it live?
Hmm?
You're doing it live?
No, I'm trying to see if this oh God. Should have actually had. That's the last one. Right, so that's my grandson. Isn't he beautiful? That's my grandson. We're trying to find something for his mother. Put this back in there for me, sweetheart. Put that in there. Did you hear the birdie? You looking at the birdie?
Mm-hmm.
Now your mother gonna have to look. It has to be somewhere. Anyway, so I was just trying to help my daughter find something. But she can't find it, so I'm trying to help her. But yeah, so I'm basically talking about education. And if you're sending a message out there and you're liking and bandwagoning over one saying, you don't need no education to this, that, and the other, and this, that, go, 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 go. And you don't need to this, that, and the other. You got to remember that while you're pressing like and agreeing with that you have children. And if you don't have children, well, then something's wrong with the way that you're thinking. And that's an example of you yourself being on a different educational level. Because if you was on that educational level, you would never agree that you don't need the education to get on in life. Where did you learn this from? And you would say that to your child? Oh, you don't need an education, man. Just go on the road and just learn what you need for learn. This is the message that I'm getting to hear. Yes, woman to woman with their ear. I'm in no business because I'm in no ear for please nobody. I'm just here to keep it real on I'm a Rasta for Life, National Board of Comments. And because I know I got black women over here who are haters. Oh yeah. We ain't never scared. We're never afraid to keep it real and to tell the realness of the thing. Good. We're not here to acquire people. We're here to make a presentation and keep it moving intelligently. So if I was not on an intelligent level, a lot of tongues would be wagging because what is this white hair lady talking about? I mean, I should do I come on YouTube with our nonsense. But I am intelligent and I have to present myself that way. And I do speak effectively. I communicate effectively. And my comprehension level is way up here. Which means when I communicate, if I observe that your vocabulary is limited, I can easily tell on the educational level. And my choice is, do I have to now come to your level in order to comprehend what you are saying? But we can easily do that too, because like me said, me born in London, England. And my parents, everybody is Jamaican. Which means me can switch back and forth without no problem. You hear? No problem. Me can go back and forth. Boop, bap, bap. Easy. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you like those apples? And then I can also talk like this. Okay? On an intelligent level. I can also talk the patois on an intelligent level too. But because that's not my natural dialect, I'd have to keep it up, right? And I can't. So I have to talk how I talk naturally. And this is how I speak naturally. But I can, also patois the thing out too. You don't know. But on an intelligent level, it's better to present yourself the way that you are. And even if your vocabulary skills are not the best, at least the little education that you got carries you through. Now, if you're not under education, how are you going to sound on social media? We've heard it. We've heard those people who don't know how to speak, talk, then you're like, what? Now, I like to talk. I do. I'm a blabbermouth. I like to talk. But then, what are we talking about? So then again, I believe that education is the key. My father taught me that, and my father in Zion also says that. Education. Seek and ye shall find. But don't be educated fools either. But the message has always gotta be about the children. Our children. And some of these people on social media, they just want to hype. Yes! Me like that, they want this. So what about your child? Are you going to tell your child that they don't need no education? But you agreeing with somebody on social media that you don't need no education, you don't need this, and this you want to have this, and this you want to have this your education. And no, that's not the message. That's not the message. You got some people who are educated, I said it before, educated fool. Me work with a lot of them. I might be one too. Good. I've worked with a lot of educated people, and I have to say to myself, you have which who degree? And I carry on like this? I get on no sense. Yes, I have seen them and worked with them. Educated people, damn sense. They only educated in what they know. Everything else, but what they know, they're good at. But then you can't take away, that skill and that professionalism and what they bring to the table because of their educational level. And you will be treated accordingly based on your educational level. And then you want to blame society because you can't this and you can't that and you this, that, and you that, this and you this, that. That's because you listening to people tell you that you don't need the education. And look at these people who are now in society with them don't have an education. Look at how they're carrying on. These are educated people. Are these educated people? There might be one or two in the bunch that just turn bad and say, you know what? I know I shouldn't have. And then just turn bad because of, society and what it's presenting to them. So, you see, as we get older though, you will appreciate having an education as opposed to not having one. Yeah, as you get older. Because you can continue to use that mindset in order to continue to maintain yourself as an older individual. Now, street smart older individuals, I'm gonna say it, I don't care. Street smart older individuals, they don't usually turn out right. Sorry. I shouldn't laugh. Think about it. Look at the older ones who's street smart. Man and woman. Look at how they... I'm not being judgmental. I'm just using examples just to open you up to think. Now you got some street smart older individuals too who are doing wonderful because they smart when it comes to the hustle. Them do them thing and everything nice. And them grow older and them live the nigger life and everything nice for them. Yeah, that's good. So you have a variation. But then you got the ones creating pure havoc all over. And, it doesn't usually turn out good for those ones. And if you're living in Jamaica, statistically, Statistically, are you going to reach to that age as even an older man? Now, the women now, and then you get to hear on social media the horrific stories being presented of one's childhood and what happened to them when they was growing up, and all of these. I don't know. I don't know. So again, on that kind of a level, I myself, I don't think that, right, based on my educational level, I don't think that I would publicize any trauma experienced throughout my life on social media. Why? Because then you become exploited because of your story that you're telling. Now you will get exploited by others. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, that's being street smart, because ones have come together to use your street smartness to create a platform for themselves and you, which is okay. I mean, so that's another form of being street smart, where you don't, you know. But now you're going to use yourself as a tool in order to create income, which again, like I said, that's an example of street smartness. That's not knocking the game or none of that. I'm just giving examples because I'm not here to tear down nobody, so survival tactics or whatever, right? I'm just giving an intelligent example of street smartness and how it can work for you in a different way. So there's a lot that you would have to sacrifice in order to be presented that way. Good? Okay. So when you do have an education, that kind of helps you to keep away from those kind of, scenarios. Because then you can intelligently think, like me, of all the other scenarios that can happen, because now they want to use me to do XYZ, whatever, blah, 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 and I'm not doing that. That's also street smart, but then you're using your intelligence to decipher the reason why they're doing what they're doing. So black women, when it comes to education, you shouldn't jump on the bandwagon of it's okay of not having one, because then you're sending out a negative message to all the children in the world, is that they don't need an education. Indirectly, that's what you're doing when you're liking a commentary that promotes not having an education. So I cannot promote that when it comes to the little children of the world. Little children of the world, you need an education at all times. Don't let anyone fool you about not having one. And with that, I've been on for an hour promoting I'm a Russell for Life, the National Board of Contents. When you watch this video, if you like it, you do. If you don't, you don't. Whatever. If you want to press the subscription button, you do. You don't. Unsubscribe. Whatever you feel like doing. It's okay with me. I will continue to be here. Howard, thank you for joining me, sweetheart. Later, guys. Have a good Tuesday.